Hello there. We're live. Hello, human family. Everything all right? We're pretty chilled here, and we've manifested this incredible space, haven't we?
Yeah.
The time-space continuum has opened up, and the Gnostic takeover is going through a transformation, isn't it?
Big time. For the last 3 days, we're in the process of total manifestation, basically. And now we're speaking to you live from a retreat in Austria, a healing retreat where ceremonies are done, heart opening ceremonies, cacao ceremonies, ayahuasca ceremonies, and whatever. And basically, it's like a dream come true because I lead a lot of the ceremonies with many other good people here as well. And we've got a good team together. And it just happened all of a sudden. We didn't even have to chase after it or do anything.
Mm.
It's just a pure manifestation from the source as a result of the work we're doing. It's a reward.
Yeah, and elevating up the level of action and showing us what is required. And this is what is going to be most important, I think, for the new world to manifest, is to implement ceremonies again as our ancients, as the ancient people did, which we were probably a part of. And the spirit of our ancestors is coming back, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's back.
Mm.
The ancestors are with us right now, and they're working for us right now because we're remembering that we are our ancestors in the now. So everything our ancestors have done in the past, we're all coming together in the now, right now, through us as us. So it's all on us, and we're completing the job basically.
Yeah, they're showing us the way. There's many influences. There's guidance happening directly from the source of creation, the highest source, the the one and only force of the one and only source guiding us, and the powers of the earth. The earth is communicating to us very strongly right now. The earth is absolutely rejoicing at what we're doing. She communicated to me very powerfully in the two ceremonies we did with ayahuasca on Saturday and Sunday. And she also showed me how the takeover of this country is going to happen, Austria, as I've been saying, and what I've been saying for months and months and months is now coming into reality. So that's what I do. I constantly say we're taking over the country and we're kicking out the mafia, and no criminality is allowed in this country anymore. We're taking things by the root cause of the problem, and we are removing all of the inconsistencies and that which does not serve the source any longer, because it perpetuates the suffering, and it's now coming into manifestation. And she gave me a beautiful vision, the earth, of what's going to happen next here in this country, and it's quite beautiful. And you know what she said to me? Because I was wondering, like, why is it so difficult? Why you keep working? We've been doing this now for over a year, and what's happening? I'm not getting any responses from the police. I'm not getting any responses from the politicians. I'm putting out all of these messages of truth, and basically no one's responding. And then she explained to me during the ceremony the difference between intelligence and the intellect. And she explains that when you initiate action from heart-based intelligence, natural intelligence, well, what's the response going to be from people in the system who only operate on the intellect? There is no response. How should we counter that? How does the crazy mind of this system respond to heart-based intelligence and telling them how it is? It can't. So what she said to me, and I love that, was first you need to feel and know what it means to take over a country, and then it happens. And I hadn't been feeling that up to now, so that's why the takeover hasn't taken place. It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart and getting out of the intellect. So what can we say about heart activation and how it relates to what is not the heart? What is the mind chatter? What's been the causal problem in the world up to now, and how does it relate to the matrix, to the system, and to the workings of the mind?
Well, the chatter of the mind isn't obvious to those who are only stuck in within the chatter of the mind. And it can't be obvious to them unless they have activated their heart, meaning that they are in love with themselves. The more you're in love with yourself, the more you can love outside of yourself and love someone and love others as well. And the stronger the love, the stronger the power of the heart intelligence you're emanating. And if you don't have this in your life, basically you're just stuck in the intellect, and you don't know that you're stuck in the intellect, and that's all you identify with, and therefore that's all you know. You see, you can only understand heart-based intelligence if you're in love, first of all, with yourself. That's where it all begins. Self-love. And the stronger the love, the stronger the activation of the magnetics of the heart, which is a direct gateway to the source of all creation. And then everything, all the light of the life force of the source comes through your heart. And that's the true intelligence. And then you will understand that this is a tool, and it's not your identification. It's not what you are. It's just a tool. And then you can use it as the tool that it was supposed to be in the first place, as the master of the tool. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
I don't know if that was a good enough explanation, but maybe somebody else can explain.
Well, it's a good start. It's always a good start to kick off the talk we're having here and the conversation, because there's many paths we can go with this. And this is what Mother Ayahuasca showed me in the first ceremony. It was so beautiful. She showed so clearly what intelligence is and what the intellect is. So you have an original idea, for example, and you sort of like have that spark, and everything that the intellect is to respond to that original idea and basically react to it. So, for example, when I had the original idea to do a notice of liability and go directly to the president, okay? So who's he, if not a human being just like I am? Just in this artificially created hierarchy, okay, he's someone who's in a position of power. But he's not really in power, because wherever he shows up in public, he has to wear a muzzle. So this is a slave. He's a slave. The same as all the politicians are slaves. Because when they don't wear the muzzle somewhere, there's a big scandal in the media because he's not wearing the muzzle, because he's not obeying enough to his masters. So that's no power. And what the intellect would say when you take this sort of action, you say, I'm going to tell him, you're liable. This is genocide. This is not allowed on planet Earth, which is my home. This is our terrain, as Errol says. This is our terrain. You do not terrorize my terrain. You do not terrorize my people. You do not terrorize me. So I'm sending you a notice of liability, and I'm going to tell you how this is all a scam and how you're privately liable, and you're going to pay for it. And you have to realize that that is what it is. You're a criminal. And you are going to have to see how that is going to affect you with the actions you take by staying silent and putting up with this lie. And so when you take this action, what does the intellect say? Oh, who are you? Who are you to make any difference? Who are you? Do you think you're the one? Do you think you're the reincarnation of Jesus Christ? Oh, no, that's not possible. And all the bullshit that comes with it, all the self-critique. The intellect is self-critique. And it's good to be conscious of yourself and question yourself so you move on. But there comes a point where it basically slays you. The intellect is what we're enslaved by, and not a bunch of dark occultists. Okay, that's another aspect of the whole control system. But where the whole control is really played out is through our mind and through our intellect.
If the intellect is not connected with the heart, then it doesn't really work.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's just a matrix, a labyrinth you get lost in, and you identify yourself with throughout your whole life, and then you're lost. You go through your whole life not even understanding what life actually is, not understanding what you are, who you are, not understanding nothing, delusionally, egoistically thinking that you do. How sad.
Very sad.
What a waste of fucking life.
And then people go a whole lifetime not having a single original thought throughout their life, because it's always about paying the bills. Oh, I can't do that because I need this job because I have to pay the rent. And you know all of this. Well, whose thoughts are they? They're not yours, because you're not living your life, you're living in a prison. And it's your worst nightmare to discover that and discover the hardcore truth that you're a prisoner of your own making.
Your thoughts, which you think are your own, are not your own thoughts. They're thoughts given to you by the system you live in, by your job, by your system identification. They're given to you by the system. They're not your own thoughts. So where are your own thoughts? You don't have your own thoughts unless you're connected to the true heart intelligence. Then you can think for yourself. And that's outside of the box thinking, because you're coming from outside of the matrix. You see? But if you're not connected here, you can never see that you're even in a matrix to even feel the need to break out of it. You don't even know you're a slave. You think you're free, but you're not. So that's why you follow everything they tell you. You wear the muzzle, you get the vaccine, you believe there's a virus.
The thing is, the people, I think they live in constant fear because they're afraid of losing their existence. They have to work, they have to pay the bills, they have to pay rent, everything. And what this does is that they are in constant fear. But what happens if all of this falls apart? When suddenly people say, oh, you don't have to pay rent here. This belongs to the people, the land. Then we get rid of the deepest fears. What happens then is that the whole intellect falls apart and people automatically go into the heart. This is one thing, how I think that the whole takedown is happening, and how the people get the healing through being free and don't have to do anything. Yeah.
I mean, what happens when your so-called life falls apart? You lose your job, you lose your income, you lose your this, you lose your that. What do you think happens? Nothing happens. You begin to live. That's what happens. You realize it was all a fraud in the first place. You didn't have to work. You didn't have to give your life force energy into a system, a mechanical system, which just sucked you off all of your life force and left you with nothing. It's all a fraud. You still live. I haven't had a job for how long? And look where I am now. Because I'm following this. I'm coming from this, and I'm guided through this, and it's given to me through manifestation through this. Right?
But facing the challenges, because you're going to be faced with challenges. The single one thing that people don't want to do is to take the leap of faith.
Let it all go.
You're going to let it all go. Take the leap of faith. I did it in 2017. And before me, before that point, 2017, where I dropped my studies and I said, I can't live with this. You know, the 5G system is coming online and I have to slay everyone who wants to activate this network. Okay. And I'll face any one of those. But before that point, when I did that, I only ever heard other people's stories of how they took a leap of faith and manifested the life of their dreams. And it sort of triggered something in me. Well, I also want some of that. And this is what happens to the pioneers of the new earth. Do you think we pay rent for this place here? We in another video we can show you around here. This is an unbelievable place. It's beautiful. And you know what happened? We had beautiful ceremonies. We were only ourselves with our processes and facing the challenges of that. And a beautiful man who lives here and who has been running the place now for over a year said, you know what, guys, I need some time out and I trust you guys to do beautiful things here and you can just stay. And that's why we're here. And the source pulled us here magnetically and we don't pay rent. It's just magic happens and life is full of magic if you let it happen. However, there comes a point where everything gets so dense and so, just unlivable. You hate your job, you hate your boss, and that is freaking good because they're immoral beings and you don't want to work for them. And that's your biggest blessing. That's a breakdown, okay, of your intellect, of your psyche, where the moral principles embedded in your heart come forward and take the action and say, like in the movie American Beauty, when he faced his boss and he said, you know what? I'm going to fuck you over, okay? And I'm going to sue you and you're going to pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? That's how you flip the whole dynamics. And that's how you exit the matrix. But you have to take that leap of faith because the entire system is always trying to tell you not to jump off the cliff because you're going to die and you're all trembling because my existence is, well, you're not here to exist, you're here to live. And that's why Oscar Wilde said, living is the rarest thing in the world because most people only exist. What's the point of that?
Mm-hmm. What's the point of existing without life, just for the sake of being here?
We exist anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You already got that.
I mean, if you die, you still exist. It's not that everything is gone.
You exist, so what are you going to do with it?
You maybe live,
piss it up the wall, or are you going to do something with it? What are you going to do? You know.
And then you see the entire earth being raped, and you've seen it your entire life. And now humanity is being raped. So that's exactly what we need. That's where I'm in line with the dark occultists, okay, that are pulling off this dark occult ritual that is the corona crisis. I'm totally in line with them because you know what? Good that people see what's going on here in the world because it's been going on for much longer and now they can't even breathe oxygen anymore. That's what it had to come to. And now, who's first to take action? And that's the real race that's going on. Who's the first? Who's the first pioneer to really go at them in an intelligent way? Not attacking them. Do not attack the system because the system is inside of you. Treat other people like, for example, when I approach politicians, when I approach police, when I deal with people from the system, I only do it with my heart because I don't have to fight them. The only real fight and the battle that's taking place is in here. It's in here, and you don't project it onto others because then you'll get into trouble. But because we've got a modus operandi coming from the heart, treating people with respect in the system also, that's the very reason why this YouTube channel cannot be deleted. They can't.
Mm-hmm.
And all the fears drop away. They can't intervene with this process because, you know, the mafia, the Satanists, want this YouTube channel to be active because they want to know about the future. That's the truth.
Yeah, because they're not in control of it. So they're interested to know how it's going to end, how it's going to go down. Because they don't decide nothing, because they are nothing.
And they've lost control.
They are nothing unless we give them the honor to be something.
Yeah.
You see?
The demons have lost control, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The demons working through the people, they can't operate anymore. That's what's going on. Because energy is too high here, the planet.
That's the biggest secret of the Archontic vampire empire that is being dealt with by those who are equipped with Gnostic intel. Okay, and going right into the demonic realm and seeing it for the little circus show that it is. And guess who's the biggest circus master? The funniest of all of them. It's Satan himself.
He's the clown.
The demiurge.
Yeah. How about seeing him like that? Are you still afraid of that? Don't have to be.
He's a clown. Absolute clown. He was so ugly before he lost his face, that wasn't
Yeah.
No more face.
Now he's got to wear a master torso to cover his ugliness. Because there's no face there, it's just burnt black charcoal.
Yeah, and all it represents is a principle, isn't it? Inside of us also. It's the working of Satan is inside of us. And reflected also in the outside world, okay?
It exists.
As beings that are more in line with the involutionary principle that the entity Satan represents. But you slay Satan inside yourself. They're repressed emotions. They are the emotions that we have been stuck in that are still memory inside our cells, okay, stored as memory inside our cells. And that's what happened with me, for example, when we talk about heart activation. I told Mother Ayahuasca that, and she knew that through my videos also. I said, I don't want any drama. I'm not interested in seeing these demons like, well, you're nothing. You have no power. I'm the authority here, all right? Don't need any of this drama. So what did ayahuasca, Mother Ayahuasca, do in my experience? She showed me a pulse, a magnetic pulse, and my emotions were coming up naturally. I didn't have to know where they come from. I didn't have to go through the trauma that was induced and where it happened. I didn't have to know any of this because, again, guess who wants to know that? It's the freaking intellect. That's what wants to know. Or when did it happen? Oh, you have to go through this. And it's all complicated when it is not. So the Great Mother just brought up those emotions, and all I had to do was breathe through them, and they all got. And I go to the toilet 4 times during both ceremonies, and it's out of my system. So healing can be very simple, can't it?
It all depends on your approach to it and your attitude towards it. It is simple. If you have the ability to make the leap of faith, and it's nothing to you, then it's nothing. You can face the biggest demons, and it's nothing to you.
Especially when you have a guy with you in the ceremony that sings Icarus and does drumming, like Errol does. I heard him for the first time singing an Icarus. It was just so beautiful. And
Shipibo Kanibo Ikaro. Very old song of the Mayans. Very old song, ancient.
Connect with the ancestors.
Yeah, the ancestors were singing through me in the ceremony. It wasn't me singing. It was the ancestors. Combined with the drumming as well, the power of the drumming brings up the healing process within the people. The drumming, the dum 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 dum.
It sounded like a war drum, and it was beautiful.
It is a war drum.
It is war.
It's war. Before peace, there's war.
Yeah, it's war.
Yeah, we love war. We own it. And the beauty of dealing with ceremony is also when people need assistance, then the shaman can come and help.
When the people hear the drum in the ceremony, they shit themselves. But after the ceremony, the next day in the sharing, they all say about how much they love the drumming.
It's the intellect that shits itself.
Yeah.
It's the demon within that shits itself.
Yeah.
Because his
That's
time
why
has
you
come.
drum against the archons, fret display.
Absolutely.
Native shamans drum.
They really come out with the drumming, show themselves.
And there need not be any drama if you decide so. Okay, and that's what I decided, and that's why ayahuasca gave me exactly the experience I wanted, and I was like, wow, what an intelligence. It need not be difficult, and you need not have to face, this drama, because only the intellect creates the drama. When you take the leap of faith, okay, you really have to go with it. You have to read the signs that come in, because it will show you exactly the challenges that you need to face in order to live from the heart and manifest from the heart a true life worth living. And those challenges will come to you, and it will come to you in a sequence, and it'll be a lot of fun also. It's all about our attitude to it also, and it's just the mind that wants to create all the drama. Oh, on this and well, after a while it gets boring. Okay, we've had all of this throughout our life. Just let go of the drama.
Let go and let flow. It's time to let go and let flow. Simple as that.
And we had an interesting number in the ceremony. We were 13 people, and I think Steve decoded some nice stuff there, the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, that's what's coming through beautifully. Very, very important intel that I got from Mother Ayahuasca, and I'm still decoding it right now. I'm decoding exactly how the mind control grid works, because this is what's going on this planet. Okay, to simplify everything, it's mind control. Okay, what is the matrix? Mind control. And what is the intellect? Is the same question.
Yeah, it's mind control.
It's mind control, and the intellect, the mind, doesn't want to let go of this control. It doesn't want to lose it.
In the form of, it always wants evidence, proof, which is evidence-based mind control. It's all the trap of the matrix, the intellect. The intellect doesn't mean anything unless it's connected to the true intelligence.
Exactly. And that's where, someone who has been a very good influence on my life from his work that he's done fell short with us. Okay, dear John Lam Lash. Okay, I give you credit for your work. And he was asking us, show me your proof, show me your sources of what you've studied, and where you get your sources from where you get your intel and this and that. And basically he failed as what he calls himself, a Gnostic. Okay, well, John, you're not the only Gnostic here on this planet. Okay, there's a tidal wave of Gnostics, of true Telestai, true aimed people coming out right now, and you've missed out on that because of your ego trip and believing that you're the only one. And that's how deep the programming goes. You can get stuck at any level, but the heart is, it's a different form of intelligence, and it needs no proof. I got an email just a few days ago with someone wanting proof from me, and I said, you know what? Don't waste my time. Just leave. Okay.
Yeah, I got a message from the same lady. I just messaged her, evidence-based mind control, and fuck off underneath.
Yeah, here in Austria, with a big Gnostic family, we even have Gnostic dogs and everything. And now we're all coming together even more through activating the hearts and the magnetics. and we're gonna do big parties and ceremonies with the people, and bring the healing.
Yeah,
to
the
the
people. We're gathering the people. They're getting more and more to do big, massive ceremonies. The ceremonies are growing basically, and we're doing it through ceremonies. That's what we're doing it through. Is connecting those people all together, same intention, with the land, and bringing the energy through.
And it's been a massive challenge to get that together, because we were running rings around, for months. We were stuck in our own emotions, weren't we? It's like me and the wizard, like just last week when I did the video on heart-based intelligence. It tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to. And I was in quite a state. And as I was in that state, I wasn't seeing it for what it was, because I was looking through the lens of my own perception. I was like, yeah, I'm still kind of fine, but let me tell you, when I got to this healing center here, how was I doing on Friday? Huh? I was trashed. Like, we were doing a cacao ceremony, and I was like, everyone was going in, what was basically living their inner child and like really enjoy and all that. And I was the pissed, angry child. I was like, and I shared that emotion openly. I said, good that you're feeling good, and I don't want to take that away from you, but I'll just tell you how fucking pissed off I am.
Fuck it.
That was funny. And that's what this is sharing of your real emotions, because I don't just live in this illusion bubble, okay? This new age religion, escapism. Oh, don't focus on the negatives, it's all good. We just have to imagine what we want and not look at how the world is deeply in trouble. I don't know if you've recognized. Can we recognize that? But that outside of us, the world in this crisis, and all of them wearing muzzles, and you trying to wake the other people up, telling them about how this is a scam and all the intellectual information only. Oh, but they don't listen to me, and we need to wake more people up. It's all tricks of the intellect. The world crisis outside is a crisis which has been created for much more than a century, okay? It goes back many, many centuries, if not thousands of years. And it's a crisis of the mind, of the intellect. That is what has created the world crisis that we can see since 2020. And the entire solution to it is not you waking other people up, but you going into the heart and ask yourself the question, are you really living your truth? Are you really enjoying your life? Are you living life to the fullest? Do you have your love life intact? Are you activating other people because of your actions, because of your kind behavior to human beings? And those are serious questions we need to ask. And the only basis for initiation into higher levels of consciousness is you have to be honest with yourself.
Do you know who you are? Do you know what you are? And if you don't, then who are you to tell others what they are and what to do? You have to know who and what you are. The question is, do you know? It's time to know.
Because we all know these situations, don't we? Where we try and tell people what's going on in the world.
I was speaking to Ahmed the other day, and he was telling me about how on the Gnostic Takeover group, people are still asking for advice on what to do. We've been giving advice for how many months now? What more do people want? All the information everybody needs is out there. We'll put it out there. So what's the point of us repeating ourselves if nobody's going to go and take action based upon what we've taught them? We've done our bit. That's why we're just having fun here now, just having a conversation. There's nothing new to share.
Mm.
You know,
It's advice-based mind control. It's another angle to it.
uh,
So because why? Because Ahmed is taking action like we are taking action. And now you think Ahmed is going to save the world, and you're going to get a letter into your letterbox telling you that the world's just been saved and everything's fine now. Doesn't work that way, does it?
I think the mind wants some advice. The mind
that's the mind of the Matrix.
Yeah. It would be for a program how to get healed and get to a better life, but yeah.
There's no savior. We're not the saviors. We are in alignment with the will of the planet. And she's through, I mean, really the level of healing that ayahuasca offers is still unknown. It's unexplored. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We've saved ourselves. So are you guys going to save yourselves too, or what? You're waiting for us to come and save you?
Mm.
We have to save ourselves.
We'll always be here, okay, because that's why we do the work that we do. We'll always be here. And the way this works, instead of advice, listen and observe the intel and the ideas that come to you as you are listening to this, because you are the one and only true form of intelligence.
Mm.
Same as we are.
Because people ask us things like, how do you write a notice of liability? Can you give us a template, please? At least a template we can go by. What is a notice of, how do you do it? How do you do a high command? What do you say when you do a high command? Well, I can't do a high command on your behalf because you're not me, I'm not you. I do a high command based on who I am and what I am. Because I'm Master Kaya, High Commander of the High Source, a protector and preserver of the creations. So I do a high command based on that. So who are you? You have to do a high command based on who and what you are, right?
Mm.
So you have to know who you are before you can do high command.
Mm.
You see? And it's the same with the notice of liability as well. What is coming through your heart? Whatever's coming through your heart, you put it on the paper.
Mm.
That's how you do it.
And you take all the time to put it together. But the whole basics of it is that this whole system only works because of your consent, okay? Your intellect consents when we stay within the inner universe, okay, that manifests the outer, and there's interactions going on all the time with the inner and the outer. So you manifest it through your heart. Tell them exactly what you mean. Take all the time that you want, but I didn't have a template, okay? I don't even know how to set up this template or any legal language. I've never read a law in my life because this whole law has been criminal for a long time.
Mm.
We're just going right back to the basics, and we say it's a contract-based system due to the fact it has to be a copy of the natural order. That's why it's contract-based, okay? And a law is a contract, and any contract has to be insured, and all those politicians are not insured, therefore they're privately liable. It's that simple. And you tell them exactly how you feel. You're committing genocide on our children, therefore I'm going to hold you accountable, and therefore I'm going to tell you you are unlimitedly privately liable with your own money, because you cannot hide behind the wall of the mafia any longer, because we're coming for you, because you're going to see the true power of the earth, which they fear. They fear nothing more than that.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, to be honest with you, my notice of liabilities are no longer notice of liabilities. They're basically a reading of rights. I'm reading them their rights through writing, basically. Like, for example, the last one I did was when they took me into the refugee camp and they wanted to detain me in a concentration camp. And they took my system identification, my passport, my driver's licenses, everything. And I just wrote to them and sent it to them in a form of email when I was there, and just told them that I'm leaving and there's nothing they can do about it, and that they can keep my identification, my passport or my driver's licenses, because it's no good to me anyway. Because I'm free. I don't need a stupid passport. They can stick it up their ass. I said that belongs to a corporation, and I don't belong to a corporation. I'm not an asset of a corporation. I'm a free man born free of the land. Okay, so you can take it back, you can keep it, and goodbye. I'm free. And I just walked out, and I'm still here free. What are they going to do?
They can't do anything. They can't do absolutely anything. And I just read in one of the comments. Okay, so translated into English. Humans, freedom, and basic rights. There's a new party in Austria, apparently. And what's our opinion? Well, don't you get that the entire basis of this problem are political parties? So I have a very strong, intelligent intel what's going to solve this entire situation and unite humanity. Create another political party. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and reordering the words and how people name things, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, what do you think is going to happen with that party? It's going to be a load of shit infiltrated by system people that know nothing about heart-based intelligence, that know nothing about the matrix, and they won't listen when you tell them about it, okay? And it will have the same end result as we had with 1 year of the Freedom Festival in Linz, and it was completely taken over by dark occultists, okay? They're everywhere. And we have a low estimate of 200,000 people that are in practice of Satanism in Austria with 8 million people. So what do you think is going to happen with a party? It's going to reboot the matrix again. It starts with you and your tribe that will come to you as the right people, and then you can take down the entire government and the entire mafia criminal network of the country with less than 20 people that know exactly what's going on and that know who they are, and put that heart-based intelligence into action, and then just asking, what are you gonna do, huh? You're irresponsible, all of you. So that's a good thing. So I take responsibility with my crew, and that's the whole basis of my power, how true power works. Activation of the magnetics, activation of heart-based intelligence is through taking responsibility. That's all the power and the real power dynamics of how real power works in the world, through responsibility.
Our message is really simple. By putting your faith in a party, you're once again giving your power away, and you're not taking responsibility for yourself again. You're putting it on the party and trusting them to do the job for you, your own work for you, when you don't even know shit about this party, and you're only going by what you have heard so far about the party. That's suicide, because there's no responsibility there. Without responsibility of the self, nothing happens, my friend. So when you talk to me about party, I don't even want to answer your question, you know. It's like, so that's why we feel like we're talking to walls here. You see, guys?
So I only heard party in the last 5 minutes, and yeah, we're gonna do a big party, but not a political party. Yeah.
We really can't stand politics, by the way. Okay, we can't. I study what law is. Okay, I've been doing for years. That's why we know how to take down the mafia. All I needed to learn are the energetics and how it works. How does the heart work? And how do the energetics of the land, okay, the environment that we occupy, how does that work? That's what I still needed to learn, okay? And it's really all about the party, absolutely, and direct action, and it builds up. You see, it always has to come down to knowing that this is a long-term project, okay? And we've really put a spanner into the works of the involutionary force very soon of this crisis. I mean, we're talking a little bit more than a year now that we've had this scam rolling, and we're already on the verge of taking down. And I keep saying this, and then people will be like, well, when is it gonna happen? You know, you said this months ago. Yeah, because I'm manifesting it. I'm holding myself accountable, and we're right on the verge. I know it. I know it, because I've been telling the police for months and months and months that the mafia has to leave this country. I've sent them videos directly, and their low-level intelligence probably tells them, it's this Wybrow guy again, you know, he's talking about peaceful resolution of the crisis, tells us he's the diplomat of the planet, and he's going to make an alliance with the police. They're all laughing, but they won't be laughing when it happens, because my will is stronger than their will. Creation does not reward their stupidity. It rewards courage, willpower, and true love for doing the right thing.
Somebody's saying, what can we do about the people in the Gnostic Takeover group that are still posting conspiracy links, etc., and all this crap? I don't know. Why don't you ask yourself?
It's a good question, by the way. It's a good question. You see, I don't take the time to delete stuff. You know, the Gnostic Takeover channel is a representation where people's consciousness is at. Exactly. And I'll never ever take action against it. I just deleted a guy who goes by the name of Evenstar, and he told me like, oh, you see, you're censoring, you know, you're against freedom of speech. No, I'm against your bullshit. Okay, spamming the whole group full and vomiting all over about you want to discuss this and that, and it's just all about you. Well, then you have no place here. But I get what you say, DR. That's absolutely true, guys. It's not about this anymore.
It's not about this anymore.
I've been deep into conspiracies, and I know about the secret society network, the Bilderberg group, the whole structure, and how it's set up, and what they do, and what it means, and how it's related in history, and all this and that. And it's fascinating, and that sort of things can still be shared, history and all that. But as soon as I see something about the PCR and the muzzles again, you know, I'm just like, oh, here we go again.
But a more relevant question would be, how do we take down this mafia? I've never seen that now.
Exactly.
So who cares about who's posting what and where?
Yeah.
Nobody can control that.
Yeah.
But then why should we need to control that? Put our energy into that. You know, wherever you go, people are going to post rubbish and talk rubbish. We can't get upset about all of it all the time. The deal is, what are we going to do about the problem?
For me, it's about taking back the land where the mafia is operating from. So the center points of cities, and just put the people there in place, and just having groups coming together, people that are loved by society, and then they just talk, and then they find a solution for all the little stuff going on in the cities and in the villages, and finding resolutions from the people, not from demons, whatever.
And we all have different views on this. And this is also, as soon as I open my eyes every single morning, that's the question I ask: how do I take down the mafia? Been doing this for years now. Always the question: what is reality? How do I take down the mafia? And those two are linked, okay? And we all have different answers to that. For example, I would say, how do you take them down? Exactly like Chris said, the energetics of the land. So when you do ceremonies on specific places in your country, okay, or on the earth, wherever you are, you drive up the energetics of the land, okay, and when they're resonating on this frequency and the energetics of the land goes beyond that, it doesn't support the mafia anymore and they will have to leave.
But you can only do that when you have activated your own energetics, your own heart.
Yeah.
Because that's how you do the work, through alignment of your heart. You do it with your heart, using your heart. Aligning it with the heart of the line, of the land, sorry.
The
That's
heart
how
of
it
the
works.
lion is also nice.
Yeah, the lion's heart aligned with the heart of the land.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
And that's it.
that's it. There's many things we can still talk about, and that's what this channel is dedicated to. We talk about the real stuff, okay, and it has absolutely nothing to do with a virus, okay. It has nothing to do with it. We took the problems of humanity will always stay the same. We've been treating each other like shit.
Yeah.
We've not been listening to each other, and we blame each other, and it's always been the same problems, okay. We want all of the things, we want the perfect partner, we want the perfect wife and the perfect female or the perfect male in our life, but we forget that first comes the self-love and the again we come back to the common theme, the activation of your own heart and the magnetics and self-love, and then the way it works is you magnetically pull that in. It's the only way it's going to work. Everything else is going to be the same relationships based on dependencies that we've all had throughout our lives, and then the problems come up, and the problems are a mirror reflection that tell us that we need to work on ourselves, and then people separate. They're not ready to do that. So that's what we really need to be talking about. Are we in love? Do we really care about ourselves? Do we care for ourselves? And are we going to pick ourselves up from the darkness that we're in? I was in deep darkness for a long time in my life, and life is falling down 7 times and getting up 8 times. Get the freaking hell up, because we need you.
Someone says the genocide is ongoing, and also your work seems to have no effect. Well, my friend, so is your bullshit seems to be ongoing.
Yeah, that's a how do you call them?
Hackster.
Yeah, Hackster.
Yeah.
Okay, this Eden guy. Yeah, it's nice that we have you here. Okay, but your life is very miserable, and now you're laughing. I know, because that's the reaction of a psychopath who has got no empathy, no emotions, and you're probably not even from this planet. But let me tell you, I will make sure that you leave this planet, okay? Because we don't need people or entities like you, okay? Your life is very sad, and I'm so happy to be living a different life to you.
He probably wears a muzzle as well.
Yeah, good on you.
And just
probably
looking
suits
forward
you.
to the backstory.
Yeah, to check out.
Goodbye, my man.
All right, should we wrap this up? Anything you want to add,
Yep.
guys? Anything you want to share? So we'll see many more things here on this channel. Okay, there's lots to get excited. I'm freaking excited. If I would have the space, I'd be jumping around now. That's how excited I am, because the magic is happening all around us, and we've only just started yet, while the mafia is already coughing. Nothing has worked. And yeah, we just warmed up now. That's the power of humanity. Okay, so all the best to all of you. Enjoy your day.
Hold on. Great.
What have we got here?
Great underwater pyramid in the Azores. I'm in Portugal. Huge magnetics. Portugal.
I love Portugal.
Right,
Been there 3
right.
times.
Yeah.
See, this is what we need,
Yeah.
guys. Information about other pyramids across the world and energy points and what people are doing. This is what we need to know about.
Mm,
You know?
absolutely. That's what we need to be talking
Yeah.
about. Seeing what pyramids are all about. Check out Dr. Sam Osmanagic. Find out about Bosnian pyramid. Look around in your area. Actually, where we are right now, there's a giant pyramid right in front of our eyes. They're everywhere.
Errol, how come you never replied to question on Telegram channel? Because I have better things to do. No offense taken, hopefully. And I don't think you've taken the point. How come you're always on the Gnostic Takeover group? Because you have nothing else better to do?
Yeah. No, it's all good. Let's wrap it up, okay? You're the heart. Just go in there one little step at a time. Might be scary in the beginning, but you know, it's big. It's a lot of fun, you know. Just enjoy slaying those demons. They're only suppressed emotions, and your intellect wants to scare you by having that. It's a projection of the matrix to not go there and release the inner child. Okay, let the child shine and enjoy your life. When you want to know a solution to the scam and an advice, enjoy life and everything comes to you.